said on one of the previous videos not long ago that after doing the breadcrumbs, I'm going to make Scotch eggs. So that's what I'm going to do. First off, I'm going to do the bread stroke rusk. If you've got access to rusk, then use rusk. If not, then use dried breadcrumbs. We've got dried breadcrumbs. It's just as good. In fact, it used to be breadcrumbs before it was rusk. So I got all this lot set up. There's no point in getting the pork out of the fridge because I want this to all mix and dampen down. So that's the first lot. And I've written it down so that I didn't have to do the maths on the fly. Basically, what that says is, that actually says 650 grams of pork, minced, 10 grams of salt, that stuff, 10 grams of pepper. I didn't need to write white pepper, but white pepper.
You can't read, that says 3.
Yeah, that's 3 grams. What did I say?
10.
You see, that's how bad I haven't really writing. 8 grams of the herbs that we're using. We've chosen this time oregano and thyme. 172 grams of breadcrumbs or bread choppy bits. 250 millilitres of water. Now that's a random amount for the pork, but we asked for some minced pork and we asked for about 500 grams, and they actually gave us, it worked out when we got it back and weighed it, 650 grams, but only charged us for 500, so that was cool. So that's why I had to do the maths on the fly as opposed to quarter, half, eighth. So basically, your breadcrumbs, your mixture of the seasoning goes in. It's a waste of time adding it to the pork and then messing about. It's a lot easier this way. Then dump your water in, give it a mix and leave it to one side for a while until it all soaks up. You may need to put a little bit more water in and you may not. So I don't think it will do. So basically all you're wanting is this to all become a mushy mess, really. And if you add all this seasoning to your meat, you're messing about, you're squeezing it through, do it in this and it spreads out easier. Right, I'll leave this for half an hour or so because it's cold here. And come back to it. Oh yeah, use cold water. Some time has passed, not that long actually, but that's all nicely wet down now. Got sausage meat, it will be sausage meat, the minced pork, and actually this one's got a nice bit of fat in it as well. It's a shame we didn't have this for doing the pork pies. So basically, all that you've seen there making, then goes into here, give it a good mix, combine it all well, and then it goes in the fridge. It's always best, you can use it straight away by all means, but it is better if you leave it overnight in the fridge, covered up, and then taste it. Cook a little tiny bit off. For breakfast maybe, a little sausage patty, just to try it for scientific reasons, obviously. And then you'll know if it's worked to your taste. If you want to add a little bit more seasoning, then you can. Unfortunately, you can't take some out, as we all know. So, I should have had a bigger bowl. But then that'd have meant messing up 3 bowls. Because the bigger bowl that I would have been easier to use won't fit in the fridge. So, just give it all a good mix. And then cover it up. Put it in the fridge. And then use it the next day for making Scotch eggs. Okay, so Lillian's peeling the boiled eggs. I always struggle to peel them. It doesn't matter what methods I've tried that I've seen everywhere, it just doesn't work for me. I end up delaminating them. We end up with the yolk and a bit of white. So what I'm doing is separating the breadcrumbs in the bag into here and using this colander and getting lots of little breadcrumbs. So I didn't film it from the beginning because I wasn't sure well, neither of us were sure it was going to work, but it's working absolutely brilliantly. All I'm doing, fingers in. Just mixing it around until all the small bits come out. Separated them now. They're the big breadcrumbs for making sausages and or stuffing. And these are the smaller ones for coating and just using if I need some more for sausages and or stuffing. Heated the oil up, got it up to temperature. Now it's going to be too hot, so I turned it off. But in the meantime, fried a little bit of this sausage mix just to make sure the seasoning we like it as it is. And it's really, really nice.
That was the...
Yes. Yeah, that is really, really nice. It's not the normal flavour that I would use for Scotch eggs, but it is really, really nice.
Yep.
Hopefully, we've made too much.
Yes, because that would make lovely burgers.
Yes, it would. Lillian did the eggs. She struggled too.
Yes, they were a nightmare.
Yes. Need to dry them off a little bit, so I'll get a bit of paper towel for that. And we'll show you in a second how we put them together, which is the same as everybody else puts them together. But yeah, we're doing it this time.
Yes.
Basically, everybody knows what to do really, I'm sure. But get yourself a lump, press it out, best you can to start with. Stick the egg in, and then just make a parcel around. These eggs are hard boiled. We're not doing them soft like you see the chefy chefs do and other people do, because they don't store as long. You need to eat them more fresh than what they are, home cooked and that. And we struggle to peel hard boiled eggs, let alone ones with a slightly runny yolk.
Absolutely.
So you basically make an egg shape. You put this sausage meat on as thick as you want, but don't do it too thin. So it gives it a good protection for the egg. Just roll it in the flour. And then the bit I really, really love is put it in the slimy egg. Whoa, I don't like doing this bit. Ugh. No, I don't like doing that at all. And that's just literally just whisked egg. Currently in breadcrumbs. You don't have to use special breadcrumbs, just breadcrumbs. People use panko breadcrumbs and whatever else breadcrumbs, but you don't need to. Just normal breadcrumbs. There's no seasoning in the breadcrumbs because it'll just burn as it cooks. There's no seasoning in the egg. There's no point. And that is basically a uncooked Scotch egg. And the only part of cooking you do is cooking the sausage meat. And that's it. So once it's back up to temperature, we'll get them cooking. We'll see what they're like. So again, roll the egg in the flour. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Because that's silly. That I've broken my own brain.
Why did you do that? You didn't flour the previous one.
I'm having a moment.
It's in your moment.
Yeah, leave me alone with my moment. Might need a little bit extra on this one. Okay, so as I was saying before I so rudely interrupted myself with being silly, egg, sausage meat. Just mould it around. If it's too sticky, just wet your hands a little bit, but this isn't too bad. You could do it if you followed the recipe for the fresh sausage, for the sausage meat that we made. You could just do it straight away and cover them, but it's actually better if you leave it 24 hours or so and let all the flavours go together. And the temperature of the oil should be around 160 centigrade. I don't do Fahrenheit, I don't know it.
Okay, just put a little piece of bread in there.
Yep.
Breadcrumbs, just to check that it's up to temperature, and it is.
Yep. Now really, we normally would use a bigger frying pan. One, we're low on oil, and two, we don't do much deep frying, so I'm going to put them one at a time because it's a smaller volume of oil than you'd normally have, and putting two in will cool it down too quick.
Yep.
Right, I'll just wash my hands and then I'll fiddle with that one. Well, rinse my hands, should I say, because I'm still going to be doing stuff. Yep, right. Turn that down a little bit because I think that oil's a little bit too hot. And our thermometer thing that we normally use in the oil has become a little bit unreliable. I think its probe's not particularly brilliant.
Yep.
Anymore. To be honest, that's as golden brown as you want, but it's nowhere near cooked.
Yeah.
Okay, so normally you wouldn't put them in the oven unless you do really, really thick sausage meat. That's not thick sausage meat, but we're going to put them in the oven just to continue cooking to make sure it's cooked right through.
Yep.
And let its temperature come down and then do it again. Mm-hmm. You don't want them burnt and horrible, and they've come up really, that looks really, really nice colour. Nice and crispy. So, we'll put it in this tray, the oven's on. And get the next one in.
Starting to smell good in here.
Yes. And again, we're only doing that because I'm not happy that the sausage meat is cooked through because we had the oil a little bit too hot. Okay, so this is our normal barbecue meat thermometer we use, and it's doing its business by beeping because it's too hot. So yeah, 180 it's reading. The only other problem with doing this is it makes the oil really, really dirty. So I'll have to get more oil now to replace this and use this in for something else.
Yes.
Put it to one side and use it for something else if we do any frying where it might be a little bit dirty.
Yep.
Right, Tio.
I've coated these.
Ooh, nice.
There's that much left over.
Ooh.
So that's a couple of burgers for lunch.
Yes.
None of this will go to waste. Breadcrumbs go in a bag back in the freezer.
Yes.
Flour will go in a bag back in the freezer. The tiny bit of egg that's there can go in the dog food bowl for their supper tonight. Look at that.
Yes.
They look delicious.
Yes, they do. Now you've got to leave them to cool down.
I know. You can eat them hot.
But you'll burn your mouth.
The whole idea is they are actually with salads and things. They're a cold food.
They are, yes. Yeah, but I mean, if they're all right, if they're warm but not reheated, you can eat them as get warm on the way temperature down, but not bring the temperature up. Otherwise, you've got to heat it right up again.
Yeah.
So these are the first two that we did. We knew the oil was too hot, which is why they're a bit darker. Also, they've been in the oven finishing off in there. These two are the last two we did, and they're perfect temperature.
Yes.
Straight out. So, yes. Right. Leave these to cool and give them a try. Scotch egg, nice and cold now. So, really good. I might let Lillian have a try. I don't know if she's behaved well enough. She's been taking the mickey out of me for the past couple of hours.
Nice. Well done.
Right, you have a taste. You got the yolky side.
Really nice, like the flavour.
Yeah.
Like the flavour of the sausage meat. And you can taste the eggs still as well. The other flavours haven't overwhelmed them.
That's it.
Really nice.
Yeah, I like it. It's not a flavour that I'm used to for Scotch eggs. So, but you really like it,
Yeah.
and that's what really matters.
You would like it more heavily seasoned.
No, I'd like it more sage,
Okay.
not thyme and oregano. But that's just me.